Don't try this at home, kids. Hello, SimTheWorld here. We are checking out the demo to Car Mechanic Simulator VR. So you may have noticed my microphone sounds a little bit off. I am using a lapel mic. The Oculus Rift S does not have a good mic whatsoever. It sounds like absolute garbage. If I use that, I'd sound like a 5-year-old screaming on an Xbox controller. So the next best thing was a lapel mic. It sounds quite a bit better in comparison, but it's nowhere near the quality we have on regular videos. All that being said, I need to be up and moving. I am tied down to a cord because of the Rift, but otherwise, here we are. We're in a garage. Check this out. So this isn't going to be a heavy explanation. I want to kind of show you guys around the garage what we can do. The different tools we'll have to see and show you guys exactly what's coming in the game. So let me pull out my tablet, and of course, I don't know about you guys, I can't really see that unless it's huge. Graphics look good. I will note that, I'm not reading all this crap. In the settings, the only settings you can play around with is the graphical quality. I've changed it to high. I'm not noticing a difference. I don't know if you guys can, but we're going to take an order and kind of play around with that. Alright, so now that we're in the garage, we've got a car here. I'm going to ignore the little thing. Actually, let's just go see it. So we've got the tire balancer and the wheel changer. I will note, since it did bring this up, I went over here and checked this out earlier. I've gone through this demo a couple times trying to learn everything. There's a lot in here. You'll see we've got things we can play around with. We got all the weights for the wheels. I was hoping that this is something that you'd actually use, but apparently not yet. We just went straight for the tire. That's hilarious. So none of the weights, it happens the same way, and in fact the menu is even the same as in the base game. We come over to the oil changer, the drain, and it's the same deal. You have to use the radial menu to dispense the oil. You'll notice that I did teleport from one side to the other. I don't know about you guys, but I get very nauseous if I slide around in VR. So to avoid that, I'm going to teleport. This is enough talk. I think we're ready to jump into this order. Let's get it up on the garage. So I will explain, if you guys do end up trying this, you need to, at least on an Oculus controller, click the joystick to get the pointer and the laser in place. You hold your middle finger down, and it should, you get a little closer here, and it should pick up your menu here. When you click that middle finger, you can go over to the move car and choose to place it in letter A. It took me a while to learn this. It took me a while to learn a lot of these different settings. It's not as intuitive as it looks, but at the same time, there's a lot you can do with it. So, first thing I want to do is, again, we're going to open our menu. That's your middle finger. You're pointing at the car. Go over to car status. And our tablet should pop down and show us. So we need to change the oil filter, drain the oil. We need a timing belt, belt tensioner, water pump, some muffler parts, middle muffler, exhaust pipe, front exhaust section, and all the brakes, discs, pads, and calipers need to be replaced. So it's a pretty big list of things, even considering, not even VR. So before we get too carried away, I will lift this car up the rest of the way, because we're going to start with the oil, but we need to get some parts. So to do that, we'll come into the garage here. Thank you, tablet. I can explain. We have our computer walked into the wall there. Alright, so we got our computer. If it's going to turn on for us. There we go. Now the computer is a little glitchy. It looks like trash, but hopefully this gets ironed out. VR is just tough in general. But you can search for your parts. I'm going to go over to the brakes here. Get a little bit of everything. There's the ventilated discs. There's the regular discs. I forget. Let's do 4 calipers, or 4 brake pads, I'm sorry. And then 4 calipers. And I will get the caliper cylinders too, just so we can replace new. But in addition to all this, if we want to search for our oil filter, we can punch it in on the keyboard. And typing in this keyboard in VR is about as fast as I type in real life. So I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. I'm going to get the rest of the parts. It's going to take a minute, so I'll be back in a second. Alright, I got all the parts I need. We've got our tools over here. We got a little tool belt off to the side. I'm going to grab our wrench and our drill. All these tools you can use, and in fact, click over here, you can interact with all this stuff too. Oh, look at that. Buff up our car. We've got the angle grinder here. Not sure I can do anything with this. Oh, there it goes. Interesting. So, you can mess around with this stuff. The radio you can't change. I did try to turn off the music before. That was a no-go. There's actually a lot of stuff you can interact with. So if you guys do end up downloading the demo, which I encourage you guys to, go ahead and play around, see what you can move around. All of these tools and equipment you can move. Sometimes when they're nice, they'll slide around like that too. But of course, since I don't have a lot of space where I'm recording, I will just teleport with it. So to drain the oil, you might be thinking, there is a drain plug. Should be able to just grab our drill and zip, zip, zip. And that's where you'd be wrong. So for this, we actually do have to go over, click the joystick again, and your middle finger will pull up the menu where we can use and drain the oil. So it should feel very similar to how the regular games go. Click the radial menu, hit the button, ready to go. Can we slide him out of the way? Nope. Wants to get stuck. Sometimes this slides, sometimes this doesn't. We're just going to teleport out of here. There's something over there. There we go. That's at least out of the way. Sorry if the boundary does pop up. I'm in a smaller area. It's hard to tell. Got to be connected to the computer. I do want to see if I can stream it to the Quest 2, but that wasn't something I was going to try with the demo quite yet. While we're under here, let's go ahead and take a look at removing parts. So, we need to remove the oil filter. I'm going to, since we have the pointer up, I'm going to hold the button, the trigger, and the trigger removes parts. Of course, we can actually go and grab and pull the part down. The oil filter does look small in comparison, but the fact that we can throw stuff around really makes me happy. But to remove parts, you do click on them. We need to unbolt the front exhaust section, but the middle muffler will come down, and so will the exhaust pipe. You bump a little bit closer, we can reach, we can grab both of them down. Look at that. Swinging them around, tossing them out of here. Bend over and grab that one. Some of them want to fly, some of them don't. You can also hit X and move about the floor if you're too lazy to bend over like I sometimes am. But now that we are ready to go, I think let's put the new exhaust pieces in and the new oil filter. To do this, we're going to hit our middle menu again, the middle finger, that then pulls up and we can go to part mount mode. And this is just, you hold your trigger, you pick your part, and it goes in. Hold your trigger. I don't have an exhaust pipe. I got the wrong one. Let me run to the store real quick. Now that I'm back from the store, I did actually buy the correct component. We can put the exhaust pipe in, that's the new one. If you click the A button, that gets rid of your tablet if that's in your way. We'll move back up front here. Get a good look here at the engine. We can get the oil filter back in. Again, hold your trigger. Menu pops up and it goes right in. I do think some of these parts we should be able to pull up, grab it from inventory and screw this in. But we're getting to some of that stuff. Now, with that taken care of, I want to tackle the brakes next. Which for that, I want to lower the car. You'll see why in a second. So again, if I want to crouch, I can hit the X button. Look at that, puts me right where I need to be. I got my drill, and we can finally start to use some tools. You look at this. It comes right off really easy. The drill goes really quick. Set that drill down, the tire comes off. We can interact with the tire. As much as I want to throw this down the hall, I need that close by so I can, put it back together. Now to remove the parts, we go ahead and we're going to hit the joystick. That puts the right menu on. We can go into, not part mount mode, but we want to remove. That's drifting a little. What's going on here? Alright, so I apologize. I have no clue what happened, but my hands were frozen and the whole, I don't know if you caught the, ground was moving beneath us. That was no good. So back to the work we were doing. This is a demo. There are expected to be issues here and there. So we're going to want to remove this caliper. We'll hit our joystick, hold the trigger, and we're ready to remove. So to remove, you can either hold the trigger and remove the bolt, or I think I should have a wrench somewhere. Did that wrench disappear when I went crazy? It might have. Let me grab my wrench here. We'll grab the big one. What are calipers? It's probably 9/16 or something like that. So we can get behind here. Again, I need to click the joystick, hold to remove the caliper. You can either unscrew with screwing with your finger, or, as funny as that sounds, you can get behind here and do it with a wrench. I don't know about you guys, any rusty caliper like this probably is not coming off just a little wrench like this. Probably need some WD-40 or some brake cleaner and some sort of leverage. But it does come, it's slow, so I do like the trigger finger, but that's less interactive. And then to remove the rest of these parts, come up with our trigger and hold, and it removes. I will admit, something like the brake calipers and brake pads, I feel like you should be able to grab. That is a little disappointing to see. But to assemble, we'll again hold the middle finger, go to part mount mode, point and click, and choose the correct component to put in place. So not as interactive as, again, you might expect, but this is the demo. I would expect for some of these jobs it to be a little easier and a little more interactive, especially when you're in VR like this. So I will say, having the wrench like this, being able to get behind and get some work behind it, it is a lot of fun. Now, my first impression of all this is it's probably not a game that, you know, I'm going to be playing over Car Mechanics Simulator 2018 or 2021 when that's released. But I think this is a fun game to have for parties. You know, it's like a lot of VR things. It's fun in small doses. You get here, you repair a car or two. You get to play around with these components. But it's not necessarily something you're putting in hours each day. I can tell you, I would never, and this is actually one issue I've just found. If you use the drill, you drill it in and it instantly is ready to drill out. So let me finish this. Actually, we're going to do this with the fingers. So yeah, I had to use the fingers here, otherwise these bolts would instantly want to come out with the drill. Like if I put the drill up, yep, you see? It wants to come off, but no, we're not doing that. Not doing that again. There are a few things I'd like to see changed. Now, I think we're actually going to go ahead and get under the hood of the car. Let me mess around with this a little bit, see if I can't get the tire to... There we go, we're out of tire mode. I don't have to deal with that. Little things like that where there's no time to change your mind. Like it's either it's coming in or it's going out. Like I was still holding the drill, the bolt was in, and then it instantly started to reverse. So maybe a switch on the drill or something, you know, maybe hitting B to switch it from reversing to, you know, forwards. Things like that would be nice. Let's get under the hood and check this out. I actually haven't found a good way to remove the hood or open it, so I've just been taking the whole hood off. Let me grab this out of here. Now we got all the space to get into the car. And would you look at this, you can get really deep inside. There we go. So now we have access to everything. Again, we got these stupid little clips, no little flaps I can pop. But otherwise, everything's here for the taking. Can I unscrew this? I don't think it's going to let me. Let's get into the engine. The fill plug. Oh, and there goes the hand. Would you look at that again? Alright, I have no clue why these hands keep freezing. I don't know if this is my Rift S or not. But we're going to wrap up this episode. Let's go ahead and fill the oil. Just going to... we point and click. We can't actually grab the bottle. Can we? I'm not seeing anything. It's not interacting. So yeah, it's point and click right now to fill the oil. And I think that's good. So let's get out of this mode. Alright, that's good enough there. You can take apart the engine here. Let me go ahead and show you guys real quick. Again, we can either use our bolts or we can use our handy dandy drill. And we can remove our parts. There you go. So you can keep coming through here, whatever you want. You can just start drilling and taking everything out. We actually have to get this removed to get to the front exhaust section anyhow, so I'm not too worried. But I don't think I'm going to complete this job in full. I just wanted to show you guys everything you can do with the drill. There we go. It's a little glitchy right there, but we do have our part out. And that front exhaust section is ready to go. I'm not seeing anything we can like grab and yank out per se. I guess we can play around with the belts. Okay, so the belts just come off. And reach in and grab those. Slide my hand in there. That was the easiest belt removal I've ever had. Again, we can pop the screws out and get the water pump out. And we are getting a little shaky here. This game is thinking pretty hard. So you can see you can rip this engine apart. I think there's a lot to do. Let me get out of this mode here. I haven't exactly found the right way to do that. Alright, so we're away from the car. That seems to zoom us away far enough that, you know, we're able to get out of the examine mode. Again, these tools you can't really do much with. You can come through here and move these around, which I think is phenomenal. I wish we could do this in the base game. Same with the welder. The welder's back here. You're able to grab this and do some welding if you so desired. The welding helmet was over there. There is a gas tank here. I wonder. Don't try this at home, kids. But no explosions. Not like Cooking Simulator VR, which may or may not be coming out in the near future. So I'll be looking out for a demo of that to come out when that is fully released. But I think we're pretty much ready to go. If you guys have any questions or want to see anything in particular with this game, be sure to let me know down in the comments below. There are a lot of things that aren't in the demo yet. Like we got the paint shop in here. I don't know what that's going to be like. I do see some hanging areas. Maybe we can put the parts up. Now here's to hoping you could spray paint everything. Little things that, something like that I want to see in Car Mechanic Simulator 2021. And of course, we got the dynos area back here as well. Though, whether or not there's anything to do with dyno, not like there's anything to do with it in Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. So, not much of a loss there. Paint shop I'm really looking forward to. Overall, again, I'm going to reiterate, this game would be a blast for kids. If you got some kids, if you have friends with kids, breaking out the VR, you know, between Beat Saber and all those other fun games, here's a game where you can actually get your hands dirty and mess around with it. If you're an adult or if you're older, it's a very cool experience. Don't get me wrong, download the demo, get your hands dirty here. But would I be spending multiple hours a day in here? Or would I be playing Car Mechanic Simulator 2021? It's hard to say at this point. But I'll be giving you guys updates as they are released. But with that, we're going to wrap up here, and thanks for watching as I simulate my life one game at a time. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss any of the future action. You can follow on Twitter for updates of future games being played, as well as follow on Twitch, as I'll occasionally stream live. Thanks, and I'll see you next time at SimTheWorld.